Not content with pixel strip lighting or single lines on your wall? Try a whole pixel wall display instead with the new Govee Curtain Smart Lighting, available now for $130. I'm James Bruce, you're watching MakeUseOf.com reviews, and I'm a sucker for any kind of flashy lights. So let's see if these are worth your while. The Govee curtains have no less than 520 individually controllable pixels to them, which sounds like a lot, but that's actually only 20 by 26 pixels. So it's not exactly what you'd call high resolution or even low resolution. It's lower than low, but still, in the right context, it can look great. So what's in the box? As well as the curtain itself, which is every bit as annoying to hang as you'd think a beaded curtain made of somewhat sticky PVC plastic lines would be, you'll also get the power supply with wired power button and a bunch of different hanging accessories. I opted to add the hooks, which meant I can put this on an actual curtain track and move them around easily. But you can also use some sticky 3M tape to mount them more permanently just onto any wall. There's a couple of options there, so I wouldn't worry about mounting. Whatever your situation is, there's a way in the box to make it work, so it's very versatile. Now, although they're called curtain lights, you'd probably want a pair of them if you actually want to cover a whole window. Out of the box, they're about 4.92 feet wide by 6.56 feet drop, or in English, 2 meters by 1.5 meters. Also of note, the curtains themselves are IP65 rated for indoor or outdoor use, though the control box and power socket, of course, should remain inside. As with any non-diffused point lighting based system, they're going to look a lot better when sighted against a white wall to reflect back. And to demonstrate this, I've got them here side by side with the same effect showing against a white wall and just with a window frame at night. You could also consider putting some kind of white sheet in front of them. I tried that with a shower curtain. That will diffuse the LEDs a little. While the curtain lights are Alexa and Google Home compatible, like all Govee products, you'll get the best experience when using the unified Govee Home app over Bluetooth. There's a range of built-in dynamic scenes such as this one, many with some interesting animations, but to be honest, the overwhelming feeling I got from that aspect of things was that it's a bit tacky. With only 20 or so pixels to work with on each axis, the animations are understandably contrived, and you'll need to take quite a few steps back and then squint really hard to make out what they're supposed to be. If the built-in animations aren't to your liking, or you want some kind of scrolling text sort of thing, or your country flag, then you can head on over to the DIY tab and come up with something completely custom, just by painting the individual pixels, then adding some basic movement. One feature they recently added is the ability to upload a GIF image to the app. So that's a huge opportunity and perhaps the best way to put your own custom animated content on. So you'll be able to craft it at your desktop in the correct resolution, so there's no cropping or scaling issues going on. In theory, anyway. I tried this with a simple fire animation that I found from vecteasy.com, a user called Angie Video, and to be honest, it didn't work that well. It seems to be quite muted in terms of the coloration, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Perhaps it's color averaging, even though my resolution was identical. It was 20 by 26 that I uploaded it in. It still seems to be diffusing it or processing it in some way. The reds and the orange weren't nearly as vibrant as I would have liked. So suffice to say, you shouldn't expect professional LED animated wall results from this. And if you want a more professional result for a club setting, for example, there are better DIY solutions and PC software packages to manage that. Now, outside of the GIF upload, the tools to design your own scene seem to be overly complex and not beginner friendly. So I think that's definitely something that they should improve in future. Where the curtains really shine, in my opinion, is the handful of customizable music reactive modes. There's not a huge range of scenes there, and it's likely you'll narrow it down to perhaps one or two favorites, but of those you can then at least customize the color palette, so if you have a particular look you're trying to achieve, then you should be able to, as well as sometimes some other parameters such as direction. So suffice to say, this music sync feature is my favorite part of the product, and definitely something I would make use of at a party or event, just to add a little something into an otherwise boring nook. Should you buy the Govee Curtain Lights? My main issue with the curtain lights is that they don't feel like they fit in with the Govee ecosystem. I mean, technically, yes, they do work over the same app and have the same interface and share many of the same presets, but it's such a unique product, it just doesn't seem to fit. It won't look good behind your monitor. Other Govee devices are typically a string or a line or defined shapes. This is an entire curtain, a whole pixel display. Ultimately, it's a big garish centerpiece, so it's more like a large work of art than something to, say, enhance your desktop or add a little room ambience. Basically, it's a very peculiar standalone product, and I don't really know who it's for. I don't think streamers would want something so distracting, so the other Govee lights would be a better choice. Don't get me wrong, the Govee Curtain Lights are technically impressive and very fun, but $130 fun? Would I recommend you integrate them into your Govee light-filled gaming room? Not so much. When it comes to off-the-shelf alternatives, however, you'll find cheaper, multicolour curtain LEDs with some basic music sync features on Amazon for much less, though they aren't really comparable. The music and scene modes don't offer anywhere near the same level of granularity and control as Govee does, and generally they're controlled row by row rather than each pixel. So forget animations, they're more intended for ambience than centerpiece. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope I've shown you a little of what the Govee Curtain Lights are capable of, and perhaps convinced you either way whether you want to buy them or not. Hit me up in the comments if you have any questions or feedback. I'll try my best to answer you, and I'll see you in the next one. I've been James Bruce. You've been watching MakeUseOf.com reviews.